It's interesting the way words have changed. The gospel talks about talents given to servants by their master in order that they would bring increase to his possessions and his wealth. We think of talents as sort of gifts or abilities that we have to do certain things. But the talent in Jesus' time was not even coins. It was a large chunk of metal, and its worth depended upon what it was made of, whether it was gold or silver or bronze or copper. And that's what these men were given in the parable today. And they used the money for their masters according to their master's will, or as one just saved it for him, buried it away. This parable comes to us deliberately on this next to last Sunday of our church year of prayer, because we have been learning from Pentecost on, not about the life of Jesus, which we learned from Advent to Pentecost, but how to be a disciple of Jesus, how to follow the instructions the Master has given us, how to imitate the way of life which Jesus showed us, so that we would truly be the children of God, the people God created us to be. We've been sort of on a learning course. And now, today, we are asked to examine ourselves, what we have done with the gifts that God has given us through Jesus. The gifts of being able to live like Jesus did, like God always wanted us to live. I'd like to sum up all that we have learned, all that we have been given, all that Jesus has led us to by that one line in John's Gospel in chapter 15, the 9th verse. Jesus says, and this sums up all the whole Judeo-Christian religion, all the good news of the gospel in one sentence. As the Father has loved me, Jesus said, I have loved you. Live on in that love. And that is what we will be examined on at the great final examination, which St. Paul talks about in today's second reading. Next Sunday, we will celebrate the second coming of Christ. On the Feast of Christ the King, the gospel will be about the return of Jesus to examine us on our gifts, the gift we have been given, the gift of God's love. And so today the gospel calls us to examine ourselves. How well am I living this life of unconditional love? Remembering that love means not feelings or emotions about something, but concern for the well-being of someone. Are we totally given to the well-being of our neighbor, starting with our own families and rippling out from there? And to the extent that we are fulfilling that gift of love, that gift which Jesus gave us from the Father, the world becomes a better, more loving place. And so to this week, we ponder, we examine ourselves on the talent that we have been given. The talent is the unconditional love of God for us. As the Father has loved me, Jesus said, I have loved you. Live on in that love.